Very good afternoon, everybody. Very good afternoon. Welcome to today's Unit 1 class. Okay, everybody, this is your last class before your exams commence next week. Okay, I hope you guys are, preparing for it. We'll talk about it in a little while's time. Everybody, can we start answering the remaining past paper questions? I don't think today also we can complete all of them. There will still be a few more remaining after today also, which you guys will have to answer on your own. Now, boys, girls, everybody, in topic 2, part number what? In topic 2, part 3, there are lots of questions we haven't done yet. Okay, Esandu all of you, come on now, devices away, please. Okay, in topic 2, part 3, there are still a lot of questions remaining. I want to do the hardest one first, and then we can move on to other questions. Okay, so everybody, topic 2, part 3, please. It's asking about the OSI diagram. Topic 2, part 3. Topic 2, part 3, question number. There is a diagram to be drawn, OSI model. I want to do that first, and then we can move on. Okay. So, boys, girls, everybody, question number, I'll tell you the number. Topic 2, part 3, yeah. Topic 2, part 3, question number. Can we start off with this? Everybody, question number 5. Explain the OSI model using a label diagram. Everybody, explain the OSI model using a label diagram. Okay. So shall we first draw the, how many stages are there? There are 7 stages. There are 7 steps in it. Okay. So shall we go from top to bottom? Let's go from top to bottom. We have 7. Right at the top, what do we have? Right at the top, we have application. Are you looking or are you just telling me? Just telling. Very nice. Yes, by heart I did. Okay. Right at the top, we have, keep some gap in the middle. So at the right at the top, we have application. We call this our application layer. Application. Then, boys, girls, what happens next? So we are going downwards, right? We are going downwards. We then have our presentation layer. We then have our presentation layer. Next, what do we have? Now we are looking at delivery method, which is transport layer. Transport layer. Then we are yes. What are you saying? We have session layer. Session layer next. We have session layer next. Then we have transport layer. Then we have our transport layer. Then we are interested in which network, then we are interested in IP address, which would be which layer? Network layer. IP address is dealt with in network layer. Okay. Network layer. And then we are interested in MAC addresses, which is data link layer. Data link layer. And then finally, we are interested in whether it's wired or wireless, which is your physical layer. Okay, then we finally go on to our physical layer. Okay. Physical layer. Right. Shall we start explaining from bottom to top? Okay, from bottom to top, we'll start explaining. What do you all know about physical layer? In this layer, what is done? The type of transmission media is defined, and the bits will be transmitted using that media. Okay. In the physical layer, we are interested in, it defines whether a wired medium or a wireless medium is being used to transmit bits of data. Okay. So over here, what do we say? Defines how bits of data, I hope you all can read it, will be transferred. Will be transferred. What are our options? Our options here are wired or wireless. Wired or wireless. Everybody, I don't think you all can read from there. So I'll wait for you all to take this down. In physical layer, what do? Defines how bits of data will be transferred. Is it going to be through a wireless medium or a wired medium? Okay. Then boys, girls. Then we come into data link layer, defines the MAC addresses of sender and receiver. Okay, in our data link layer, we now define what device is this data going to. So we define the MAC addresses. Okay, so over here, defines the MAC addresses, defines the MAC addresses. Basically, we are talking about the device that it is going to. Then in network layer, we define the IP addresses. Which network are these data packets going to? Okay. So here we use MAC addressing. Here we can say defines the network and the route or the route, and the route data packets will be taking, and the route for data packets. Everybody defines the network. I don't think you all can read that. So tell me to repeat if I have to tell you all, okay? Over here, defines the network and the route or the route for data packets. Data packets take their own route now. They all don't go down one route. They all take different routes. Okay? Over here, what are we interested in? We are interested in IP addressing. Over here, we are interested in IP addressing. In transport layer, what do? We delivery. Okay, in transport layer, we define our delivery method. What are our options here? Very good. For real-time calls, we use VoIP. We use TCP. We use, if it's live now, TCP is guaranteed delivery now. It has a proper procedure that it follows. If the data doesn't arrive to you, if there's an error in the data is resent to you also. That is TCP. Very reliable delivery method. However, TCP is too slow for things like live streaming. So in live streaming, what do we use? User datagram, UDP. We did not have it in our notes, but I mentioned it to you all in transport layer. Is it clear? Normally for requesting a website, you all will be using TCP. Okay. For voice calls, we will be using VoIP. And for live streaming, we will be using something called UDP. Okay. Defines the delivery method. Defines the delivery method for data packets. For data packets. What happens over here? I don't have space, so I'll just say TCP, VoIP, or UDP. Are we okay with this? So transport layer is responsible for defining the delivery method. Okay. Okay. Then boys, girls, when we come into session layer, responsible for, let's not say making, let's say establishing a connection between sender and receiver. What protocol is used here? No, there's a protocol that literally says session. Session initiation protocol. Okay, you initiate a session, you establish a session. Okay, So everybody over here, in this you can say establishing a connection between sender and receiver, between sender and receiver. Over here, what happens? You have SIP. In presentation, three things happen, which is encryption, translation, and compression. Encryption, translation, and finally we have compression. What happens in application layer? Basically, application layer will define the protocols that should be used in order to deal with this data. So give me examples of protocols. If it's a website, what's the protocol we'll be using? HTTP or HTTPS. If it is email. FTP is if you're uploading or downloading files. If it's email, SMTP. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Defines the protocol to be used to read the data packets. So over here you have if it's a website, HTTPS. If it's uploading, downloading files, FTP. If it is email, SMTP. Okay. Right. If you are sending data, you are going to send data. You go from top to bottom or bottom to top. You are about to send. On your computer, you are about to send data to somebody else. Okay, so when you are sending, it will be from. No, you are about to send. So initially it will start with the application, then you will form the data packets. So when you are sending, you go from top to bottom. When you are about to receive it, you go from bottom to top. So how shall I indicate that? When sending, okay, when sending everybody, we go this way. We go this way when sending. When receiving, when receiving, we go from bottom to top. Right. Everybody okay with this? When sending, we go from top to bottom. When you're about to send it to somebody, we go from top to bottom. And when you're going to receive data, we go from bottom to top. Should I repeat anything? Because I don't think you all can understand this handwriting. I don't have a lot of space to draw it. Shall we draw the frames or the data packet? Everyone, do you all remember the data packet parts? The parts of the data packet? You have a header, payload, and a trailer. No? What is inside the header? What is inside the payload? What is inside the trailer? Do you all remember that? So everybody, we'll just give it a try. They haven't asked for it over here. We'll just give it a try. We have space now. We have space at the bottom now. Let's give it a try below. We'll start from transport. We'll start from session layer. We'll start from session layer and then we'll add on to transport layer. So everybody, you all took this down. So everybody, initially at the session layer, we are going from top to bottom, okay? We are going from top to bottom. Initially at the session layer, I only have my payload. My payload is basically my data only. Okay, so initially at session layer, this is my session layer. At session layer, guys, what do we have? We have only our payload. We basically have our data over here. We have our data over here. This is what we call our payload. Then when we come down to the next layer, which is the transport layer, what happens over here? Again, we have our data. Again, we have our data, but something else is going to be added to it. We have our data, and then something else will be added. The transport layer protocol will be added here, right? The transport layer protocol will be added over here in your header area. Okay, so over here, for example, it might be TCP. We'll assume it's TCP here. Okay. Actually, guys, there should be two things. I'm sorry, two things. In your session layer, you will also mention what application protocol are you using? So it might be, for example, HTTP. Okay. Then, guys, what do we do over here? Over here, now we also mention our delivery method, which is TCP, and our application protocol is HTTP. Okay. This is our payload. This is our payload. And this is our header area. Are we all okay with this? Then, guys, when we come down from transport, when we come down to network layer, what happens? We now need to add what? We now need to add the IP addresses. Which network is this supposed to go to? So now the frame gets even bigger. So now again, I'm running out of space, so I'm going to do this again. So everybody, now we have to add our IP addresses, senders IP, receivers IP. In network layer, we have IP address. Then next to that, we will have our transport layer protocol. Next to that, we will have our application layer protocol. And then we will have our payload data. We will have our data. Okay. So this entire area will be our header. And this is our payload. Then after network layer, we come down to data link layer, and now we are interested in MAC address. We now include the MAC address. Data link layer. Data link layer. Now over here, guys, we have to add one more thing, the MAC addresses. So here we have our MAC address. Next to that, we have our IP address. Then we have our transport layer protocol, TCP. Then we have our application layer protocol. We agreed to use HTTP. Then we have our actual data. And we have one more thing. We have one more thing over here. What is it? We have our trailer also here. In our trailer, there are two things. sequence number. I see some of you are giving me weird looks. Kenneth, what's going on? We learned this, okay? You're giving me a look like. So far, I don't have a past paper question that asks you all to draw the frames, but they have a question asking about explaining how the data is broken into frames. But drawing the frame so far, in the textbook also it wasn't there. In past paper questions, I never had a question asking you all to draw the frames. So in your exam also, I don't have a question asking you all to draw the frames as far as I remember. Okay, but I'll be asking you all about the OSI model. There is a question about the, not there is a question, there are questions about the OSI model, as I remember. Just know this, just know about it, just be aware of it. In the trailer, there are two things in the trailer now. Your sequence number, error checking method is the other side. Sequence number means what? This is packet 345 of 1,745 packets. You get it? So when the data packets come, they know how to be arranged because the sequence number is there now. Okay, and then we also have a error checking formula at the end of it. Error checking formula. And then finally, at the physical layer, what happens? This will all become bits of data. In the physical layer, finally, it will just become bits of data. I'll just say bits of data. Okay, everybody. How do I take this thing away here? Okay, right. Let's do Esango. Put that away, please. Okay, let's move away from me. Everyone done? Okay, so we did a recalling on this lesson, which we did many months ago. Okay, let's move up, guys. Let's do about one or two questions from here, and then we'll move away from here. All are done, no? Okay, we are all done with this. Guys online, okay with this, no? Okay, right. Everybody, if I move on to question number, let's have a look at question number 6, will you? Or let's go to the top first. Let's go to the top. Everybody, I'll answer it on this thing. This is giving a few problems. Guys, girls, all of y'all, can you all answer this with me? Topic 2, part 3. Let's look at question number 1, everybody. Question 1, please. Question 1. So everybody over here, it says over here, yeah, can you all read it to yourselves? Ananya wants to expand her Zigbee network to include devices other than lighting. Give 2 other examples of Zigbee devices that she could include. So what are the other smart devices you can include, guys, other than lighting? Sorry? Okay, door locks. You can include door locks. Anything else? Sorry? What are the other smart devices a house could have? Door locks. What else? Curtains. Okay. Curtains. You can have curtains that can be opened and closed per your requirement. Light is already mentioned. How about thermostat, cooling? Okay, you can control. You can have a smart thermostat as well. Thermostat. Okay, maybe a TV. Guys, online alarm system. Okay, Nulara, you can say alarm system as well. Okay. Right. Then another question goes on to say, state one advantage for Ananya of using Zigbee rather than Wi-Fi to connect devices in our home. What are the advantages you'll remember about Zigbee rather than Wi-Fi? Sorry? Scalability, okay. You can add a lot more, you can add more devices whenever needed. Okay, not difficult. What about power consumption? Which consumes lesser power? Wi-Fi consumes more, Zigbee consumes less, right? So we can say this Zigbee devices consume less power than Wi-Fi. Okay, scalability he mentioned. Simple to set up, also marking scheme has mentioned, boys. Simple to set up, also marking scheme has mentioned. Or easier to set up compared to Wi-Fi. Easier to set up compared to Wi-Fi. Can you also note down scalable? Scalable meaning can easily add more devices when needed. Okay. Everybody with you all, right? Last week we drew a diagram for Zigbee devices. Yes or no? Yes, right? 10 coordinator, not coordinators, mean lightning devices. Yeah, with you already we did that. Explain one disadvantage of using Zigbee rather than Wi-Fi. Sorry? Expensive? I don't think so. How many of you all knew about Zigbee before we learned it? Huh? I don't think any of you all knew about Zigbee, right? How many of you all have a Zigbee device at home? All of us have. If you have any smart devices, they're all Wi-Fi compatible. We don't know about Zigbee. So what issues can come up with Zigbee? Support meaning you have a gadget that's not going to work with other gadgets. So what issue do we call this? Compatibility issues may arise, isn't it? You have a gadget that may not be able to work with the other gadgets you have. Okay, because most of the gadgets we have are Wi-Fi compatible, not Zigbee compatible. Okay, you can say since it is, or don't say that, just you can say compatibility issues, compatibility issues may arise. Okay, also, which one has a longer range? Wi-Fi has a longer range than Zigbee. So you can say Zigbee devices have a lower frequency, have a shorter range than Wi-Fi devices. Okay. Security, they say it's less secure. Can you also note that down? I just looked at the marking scheme. They said Zigbee devices are less secure or more vulnerable. Zigbee devices are less secure than Wi-Fi devices. Okay, look at the marking scheme thereafter. I can show it on the screen even. I'll show the marking scheme on the screen. Compare our answers. Everybody, boys, listen to me, Willow. Girls, everybody, when is your exam happening? Can somebody tell me the date? Can you check and tell me? Sure. 26th. Everybody heard? You all agree with him? Is he correct? I didn't look at the timetable yet. That's why I'm asking you all. 26th. 26th is what day? It's a Wednesday. Theory, practical, both happening together. Correct? What's happening first? I didn't hear you. Unit 1 is happening first. Right. Everybody, your Unit 1 paper is only 1 hour. And it's quite challenging to finish that paper in 1 hour. Because you all need to understand, inside 1 hour, I have to put 3 topics. So, not easy for me. Okay? So, I have put as little questions as I can. But I have to also cover the syllabus. I have to also ask you all enough questions to cover topic 1, 2, 3. So when I timed it, it's like exactly enough for 1 hour. Okay, so guys, when you'll get your paper, immediately start it. If you're struggling with a question, just put a mark and move on to the other questions. Because it's going to be a very challenging paper to finish it in 1 hour. Hardness, I don't think it's going to be hard. It's just that there's a lot of questions for you all to answer. I don't think it's very hard. Okay. There are a few calculation questions also. You all are not allowed to use a calculator. Okay, I need you all to write the method, expression. I need to see your working. I do not need the final answer. Okay, not too complex calculation questions also. Okay, because I timed the paper. 1 hour is the amount of time that's needed. Okay, if you'll get stuck, don't waste too much of time on a question. Mark it and move on. Okay, 6 markers might be there, no 12 markers. Okay, because 12 markers, I don't think inside 1 hour I can get you all to finish it. Okay, but it's going to be challenging to finish that paper in 1 hour. So work fast. And everybody, yeah. Exactly. Practical. I told you all HTML, CSS and JavaScript, right? I had to remove JavaScript because I'm unable to bring it to 75 marks with JavaScript. Not 75, 50 marks. I'm unable to bring it to 50 marks with JavaScript. So I had to remove the Java because JavaScript, what I have covered with you all. And the past paper questions, very difficult to find a past paper question that questions you all on what I have covered with you all. You understand what I told you all? What I have covered with you all is not enough to question you all on JavaScript. It's past paper. I just copied and pasted. I did not make any question on my own. I just copied from here and there questions and pasted it over here. So it's not one paper. I think 2 papers or maybe 3 papers. I don't remember. I just copied, pasted. Okay. So HTML and CSS will come. And the HTML 20 marker question, for sure it's coming. Okay. The 20 mark HTML question is coming. Okay. Yeah, Aman. So, yeah, because like I told you, I haven't covered enough of JavaScript to ask past paper questions from you all. Okay. One more thing, guys, boys, girls, everybody, everyone, the hardness of the paper is not at all in your control. Obviously, it's me who's making the paper. What questions are going to come? Will you be able to answer the questions? How your health will be on that day? How you will feel on that day? All these things are not in your control. But what is in your control? The way you prepare for the exam, 100% in your control. The number of questions you attempt before the exams, in your control. Do you check the marking scheme and compare with your answers? In your control. Do you go through every single answer the examiner mentioned in the marking scheme? In your control. Do you understand? Do you put an effort to understand the marking scheme? Is in your control. Do you message me and ask me to clarify if you don't understand the marking scheme? In your control. Is it clear? Then when it comes to your practical paper, the number of, I gave you all the past papers, right? I didn't give it to you all, no? I did not give it to you all. Okay, I'll try and send it on the group today. Okay, I'll try to send you all the past papers. Practicing past papers in your controller. Focus on the process. The result will take care of itself. Okay, focus on what you can do. Okay, the hardness of the paper, the questions, how cold the class is going to be, who is going to be sitting next to you, your mood on that day. Those are all you just have no control over. Okay, but you can focus on your preparation. So guys, in class, I'm spoon feeding answers to you all, isn't it? I don't like it, but because I have only 2 hours here, not 2, I have only 1 hour, 45 minutes. I don't have time to wait for you all to fully come up with the answer. At some point, I give up and I give you all the answers and you all just copy it down. So real thinking doesn't happen in this class. Real thinking will happen when you attempt the questions on your own and you try to understand it and you try to come up with an answer. That's when real thinking happens. And those answers will remain in your head. When you're thinking entirely on your own, trying to figure out something, those answers will remain in your head. Is it clear? So everybody, you all know less than a week to go. Start your preparations. Okay. The best preparation is attempting past paper questions. Okay. Compare your answers with the marking scheme. Okay. Right, let me move now. So Akash, it's basically HTML and CSS only for practicals. Okay. I couldn't include JavaScript. It was not possible. So everybody you asked me, right? In unit 1, topic 2, topic 3. Okay. In unit 2, HTML and CSS. Are we all okay with this? HTML and CSS in unit 2, topic 1, topic 2, topic 3 in unit 1. Okay, not too complex. Right. Everybody, did you all check the marking scheme? Fire alarms, control devices such as switches and thermostat. Thermostat we mentioned. Metering devices. We never thought about metering devices, right? Everybody, Zigbee supports metering devices. Okay. Entertainment devices such as speaker. Nobody mentioned speaker. Okay. You see, you are learning from the marking scheme now. Security devices such as lock, you mentioned, right? Okay. Right. Look at the next one. The next question was what? The second question was advantage. Can you guys read the advantages? We mentioned all of them. Simple to set up, easily scalable or expandable. You can add new devices, not very difficult to configure. Users less power. Okay, we mentioned these. Scalable and less power, we mentioned. What are the disadvantages? We spoke about this. Low range. Okay. Less secure. We spoke about this. Relatively new technology. So compatibility issues can arise. Everyone okay with this? Did you all read it? Don't nod your head. Come on, read it. Okay. All right. Let's do one more from here and then let's move away from here. All right. Everybody, I'm going to move on to the, sorry, wrong place. Yeah. This is too easy for y'all. This is also too easy for y'all. We did OSI model. Can we try this, everybody? Can we try this? Question number 6, 4-marker question. Can everyone come over here? And then we'll go away from here. Everyone have a look at this video. TCP IP is a 4-layer model of communication protocols. Explain one difference between TCP IP model and the OSI model. Do not include details of layer names or functions. What is the most obvious difference you can tell me? OSI has 7 layers, while TCP IP has 4 layers, but that's not enough to get 4 marks. Go on. I'll start with his answer and then we'll build on it. The TCP IP model, the TCP/IP model contains 4 layers, while the OSI model contains 7 layers. Not enough to get 4 marks. You got 1 mark, 1 difference. Now go on, explain it. Which one is the latest one? TCP IP. Which one do we practically use in today's world? TCP IP. Which one is the theoretical model? Are you listening? OSI is just a theoretical model to explain how data is transferred. Practically, data is transferred following the TCP IP model. Shall we note that down? The TCP/IP model is a theoretical model that explains how data is transferred on a network. But practically, the OSI model is followed when transferring data. Which one is the newer one? TCP IP is the OSI model. The OSI model is relatively new when compared to the TCP IP model. Please read the marking scheme. Lots of things we never spoke about over there. Do read the marking scheme, guys. Lots of answers we didn't say. OSI is about communication between a network and a user. TCP/IP is about transferring data over the internet or even a network. Practically, which one is used? TCP/IP is only used. Everybody okay with this? Give me 1 second, please. Right, shall we move away from here then, everybody? The other questions are somewhat similar. I think y'all can handle it. Okay, both of them 1 second. Let me look at other questions. These are all protocols. No, yeah, I'm not going to do them. I need to move, guys. Topic 3. Also, we have so many questions, essay type questions remaining. Okay, guys, as I remember, there was no 12 marker, but I'm a bit suspicious of my thoughts. Not suspicious, I'm a bit doubtful of my, because I clearly remember like I telling myself there is no time for them to do 12 marks, but I'm also thinking, did I? Okay, I'm pretty sure I didn't, but I could also be wrong. I'm making life so easy for you all. So, I don't think, no, there is no 12 marker because there was clearly not enough time to put a 12 marker. Inside 1 hour, I have no time to do that. Search. No, guys, no, there isn't. Paper is doable. Actually, paper is only, I'm saying there's a lot of questions, but I think you all can easily do it in 1 hour. Even with thinking, you all should be able to handle it. All right, boys, girls, everybody, let's move on to topic 3. Topic 3, what number? Topic 3, part 3, question 5. Topic 3, part 3, question 5, please. Topic 3, part 3, question 5. So question number 5 says, yeah, everybody, can we come down to question 5? The online community stores personal data about its members and must obey data protection laws. Describe what is meant by personal data. Everybody, what is personal data? If I ask you for your personal data, what would you start telling me? Your name, what else? Surname, nationality, address, contact number, email address. So what is all this data? Data that can be used to identify an individual. Very nice. Personal data is data that can be used to identify an individual. That's it, finished. Can you all note that down? This is the meaning of personal data. Data that can be used to identify an individual. Give some examples also. This is data that can be used to identify an individual. Okay. Example, full name, ID number, or you can say, passport number, and address. Okay, or contact number. I'm just looking at the marking scheme. They have said it should also mention it is unique. Okay. So can we include the word this is unique data? This is unique data that can be used to identify an individual. Let's include the word unique as well. Are we good? Members can change some of their personal data when logged into their account. Give one way in which a member could protect their account from unauthorized access. Guys, how do you all protect your online accounts? Sorry? Username and password, okay. Username and password. Anything else? Multi-factor, two-factor authentication, enabling two-factor authentication. Anything else? Sorry? That is the system has to provide it to you now. What can you do? You can enable username and password. You can enable two-factor authentication. Enable biometrics. Biometrics will come under two-factor authentication, no? Username, password, then you put your biometrics, isn't it? So I'll mention 2FA. The marking scheme also mentions what, guys? Using a strong password. Okay, not just password, using a strong password. Do not share your password with anybody. Okay, do not share your password with anybody. Log off after visiting or using a computer, especially if it's a public computer. Okay. So I'll remove username and say strong password. Implementing a strong password. Implementing 2FA. Actually, two-factor authentication also, the system has to provide it for you, right? You can't provide it now, isn't it? Two-factor authentication, logging in with a code or a OTP, the system has to provide it, right? They're asking what? In way a member could protect their account. What can members do to protect their account? So 2FA cannot come in. They can have a strong password. What else can they do? Do not reveal password to anyone. Something else they can do is regularly change their password. Something else they can do is do not save the password on their computer. Log out of the account when they are not using it anymore. Log out of account. Now they are asking what can the community do? What can the platform do to protect users' data? Now you can talk about enabling username, password, two-factor authorization. Okay, so pick one. They're asking only one way and explain it. Which one shall we go with? Everybody tell me the methods we have. They can enable username, password. They can enable two-factor authorization. What else? Unauthorized access to take place. What else can they do? They can do encryption. What else? Hacker is trying to break into the network to see the data. Firewall, installing a strong firewall, regularly updating it. Which one is the easiest answer to write? Two-factor author. Shall I go with encryption? I think encryption will be the easiest to write, isn't it? Boys, girls, can you all just note down the possible answers and then we'll talk about encryption? So you can talk about password. Password is there. then we have encryption, then we have 2FA, two-factor authorization, then we have firewall, and we decided to go with encryption. Okay. All members data all stored members data should be encrypted. This would scramble the stored data into an unreadable format based on a mathematical formula or a key. Okay. We must read the marking scheme. There are answers we never thought about also in the marking scheme. Are we all okay with this? Guys, girls, can you all read the marking scheme? Everyone look at this. The marking scheme has mentioned some answers we never thought of. Look at the 1, 2, 3. Look at the third answer. Use a Turing test. What is Turing test? Completed, automated, public Turing test to tell humans and computers apart. CAPTCHA test. Everyone knows what CAPTCHA stands for? Completed, automated program to tell humans and computers apart. Okay. Completed, automated, public Turing test. No. Complete, automated, public Turing. Something like to tell humans and computers apart or something like CAPTCHA. Okay, whatever. Everyone know what CAPTCHA test does, right? It puts a test in front so that only a human can solve it. A bot or a program software will not be able to solve it. Okay. Two-factor authentication we mentioned. Now SQL injection, you know what SQL injection is? Where, for example, you access the database and you type an SQL code. I haven't taught you SQL yet. You type a code that will go and mess up the database. So you can do something called, this is what you call SQL injection, where the hacker, when he's accessing the database, he can type a code that will mess up the database, corrupt the database. Okay, for now y'all can forget about the last one. Okay, y'all can talk about installing strong anti-malware. Okay, instead of worrying about this. Okay. All right. I want to attempt another question with y'all. Question number 7. Can we all have a look at question number 7 then? Over here it says, Gaty uses free cloud storage for his images. Explain one benefit and one drawback to Gaty of using free cloud storage. What's the benefit, guys, of using free cloud storage? Sorry? Can access it. 1 second. Can access it anytime from any device at any location. That's a complete answer. It is free, so okay, it is free, so she's not paying for it. Okay, I like that answer more. Anything else? Can cloud storage carry out automated backups for you? It can carry out automated backups for you, right? Where your data is automatically backed up to the cloud. So even if you lose your hardware device, no worries, the data is on the cloud. Okay, so we'll start off with the benefit. Gaty would be able to access her files from any device at any location and at any time. Okay? Getty would be able to access her files from any device at any location, any time. We can also say, are you writing? We can also talk about centralized backup, automated backups. Further, her date, his data, no? It's a he. Further, he would be able to have automated backups for his data. Yeah, I'm just getting it down. What is the drawback for Getty? Limited space? No. One of the benefits of cloud storage is it's scalable. No, you can always increase it. You're fully dependent on the server. If the cloud storage service provider goes down, you'll be losing all your data. Exactly. You're fully dependent on an internet connection with a good bandwidth, with a high bandwidth, isn't it? So you can say Getty would only be able to access his files when internet access is available. And further, a good bandwidth would be required to access the files smoothly. A good bandwidth would be required to access the files smoothly. Everybody, we have a look at the marking scheme. Marking scheme has mentioned some answers. Getty doesn't have a lot of control over the security of the data, isn't it? He's not storing it on his local storage, no. He's storing it on a host server. He's fully dependent on them to protect his data. The marking scheme has mentioned that. Getty really doesn't have control over the security of his data. He is fully dependent on the cloud service provider to protect his data. Okay? Those are problems for whom? For the customer, for the cloud service provider. Data protection laws across different countries is a problem for the cloud service provider. He only has to deal with those protection issues now. Is it clear? Yes, read the marking scheme, please. Read the marking scheme. In terms of benefits, we pretty much mentioned all the benefits the marking scheme has said. All right, boys, girls, I'm closing this then, okay? We are closing this and we are going to move on to. So everybody, this is also done. Topic 3, part 2, question 9. Topic 3, part 2, question 9. Can we have a look there? Topic 3, part 2, question 9. Let's do our mind map, everybody, come on. Topic 3, part 2, question 9. We'll do the mind map, take our break, and then come back and complete the answer. Sanjeev writes short stories for magazines. Understood who Sanjeev is? He writes short stories for magazines. He does not have a permanent position and only gets paid when a story is published. Okay, only when the story is published, he gets a payment. Some stories are commissioned by a magazine's editor, others are submitted in the hope that they will be accepted and published. You understood that? Some articles he is asked to write, some articles he just publishes and hopes that they will accept it. Okay, he's trying whatever he can. Sanjeev researches material for his stories by using the internet. He also has an active social media presence for his work and personal life. You understood that? Boys, Kavish and Shimar, you all don't seem to be with me. Okay? He also has an active, so he's quite busy. Okay? He's very active on social media. Okay? In terms of his work life and his personal life. By using the internet, Sanjeev has generated both an active and a passive digital footprint. You all know what that means, no? Active digital footprint is what you are aware of, you are in control of it, and passive is what you are not really in control of. Okay? Evaluate the advantages and disadvantages for Sanjeev of the digital footprints that he has generated. You should consider the impact on Sanjeev's working and personal life and how Sanjeev should manage his footprints going forward. Okay? So everybody, impact means what? What does impact mean? Effect. What is the effect of his digital footprint on his working and personal life? And then how should he manage it going forward? So how shall we get started? So everybody over here, shall we do a mind map? We'll first focus on impact. Everybody, let's focus on impact will first. So I'll say over here impact. Impact. And let's do positives and negatives. So everybody, what type of changes would happen by maintaining from his digital footprint? By having an active and passive digital footprint, what type of changes would occur? How would it affect him? Sanjeev's working and personal life. So can we say an active digital footprint will increase Sanjeev's exposure as a writer? You know what exposure means, right? Now more people will get to know about him as a writer. Isn't it? He would know. You guys, basically what's happening? He's sharing his articles, he's sharing videos about his writing. Okay. Now more people are getting to know about him as a writer. Okay. So impact number one is increased exposure as a writer. Increased exposure as a writer. So what's so good about getting increased exposure? Can lead to job opportunities. All right. Something else we can say? Very good. You can get personalized content, isn't it? Content that's related to what he is interested in. He doesn't have to spend a lot of time searching for it. Okay? Can get content related to his interest. Anything else? Now, this is the thing. Is it possible for online platforms to brainwash you, to manipulate your thinking? To make you think somebody is a criminal and somebody is a lovely person? Is it possible? Very much possible, right? We have heard many stories about this, of how certain social media platforms will hide certain news from you, block certain news from you, and make you think that a certain person is a good person and a bad person, it can get you to, it can convince you that a bad person is a good person and a good person is a bad person. Is it clear? So you can say, can lead to biased thinking, Okay. Anything else you can tell me? Okay, because of the, okay. Can be a major distraction also. Can be a major distraction. Then everybody, can cyberbullying take place? Can people start bullying him, saying you're writing rubbish, nonsense, this, that? Can people start making fun of his articles? And it can spread like wildfire, right? Okay. Can lead to cyberbullying. We'll talk about what cyberbullying is. Can lead to cyberbullying. Give me a few more. Sorry? This is, no, this is both. I'm talking about the impact. Impact of digital footprints. What can it do to him? Privacy concerns. Privacy concerns. Privacy concerns are there. Give me one more positive and then I'll stop here. Positive impact. Positive contact, positive impact. Anything else y'all can think of? Sorry? Monetize opportunities. Okay. Then boys, girls, going forward, what should he do? Going forward, what should he do? The question paper then goes on to say how Sanjeev should manage his footprints going forward. Going forward, how should he manage his footprints? So guys, he has his work life and personal life now. Would you recommend he uses one account for both of them or use two separate accounts? I also think it's a good idea to use two separate accounts, isn't it? Don't mix work and personal together. Have two separate accounts. That's what generally many of these followers, what do you call, influencers do, right? They have their personal account, they have their work account as well. Okay? So you can say maintain two separate accounts. Anything else? Anything else, guys? For the problem of bias thinking, what can he do? Biasing, what do you call? How does a social media platform figure out your interest using what? Using transactional data, which is recorded inside cookies, right? So what do you have to clear? You have to clear your cookies from time to time. Otherwise, they'll continue to manipulate you. When you clear your cookies, they don't know what your interests are. Okay? Clear cookies from time to time. Clear cookies from time to time. Then for privacy concerns, what can you do? You're worried if they're taking your location, you're worried what they're doing with your data. So he must carefully check what? His privacy settings. Sanjeev should regularly check his privacy settings. Regularly check privacy settings. Okay. VPN is if you're accessing what do you call, a confidential network, like you're working from home. You don't want anybody else accessing your network now. Or if you're making an online payment. So here VPN won't make sense, I think. Change the location. Okay, I said clear cookies now. Okay. Everybody, for being a major distraction, what shall we say? He should set timers maybe. Screen time, screen limits, okay? Set timers, maybe we can say going forward. Set timers, okay. We'll start writing our answer then, everybody. It's a 12 marker question. We'll talk about the impact first and then we'll talk about going forward what he should do. Okay, so in our impact, guys, we can talk about all, I don't know, you choose. We'll take two positives, two negatives, and then we'll speak about two things going forward. Okay? There is no, what do you call, fixed number of points that you need to write. Okay, the examiner will basically go through your answer and see the flow. Have you covered the impact sufficiently? Have you spoken on both sides of the topic? Have you then, what do you call, spoken enough about how to what to do going forward? It's not like the examiner will count a number of points and give you marks. He's more, but for you guys, normally I say they're giving you 12 marks now. Try to have 6 points. To make it easier for you all to understand on how much you write, I would say 12 marks means have 6 points. 6 points means what? Each point should have a explanation. And if possible, put an example to show that you have thoroughly understood that point. Okay? Okay, guys, I'll give you all until 1:30. When you all come back, we'll write our final answer. Okay? Okay, everybody. Keep this mind map with you all. At 1:30, we write our final answer. Have a nice break, all of you all. So everyone, let's give an introduction. Okay, everybody. So over here, Sanjeev. Careful. Okay, so let's say over here. Everybody, how shall we start this? I don't know why this happened. So everybody will start off with Sanjeev's digital footprint. Sanjeev's digital footprint, okay, can impact him, can impact him in the following ways. In the following ways. Okay. Right. So we agreed on increased exposure. Okay. Everybody, can you all quickly tell me this? What's the difference between active digital footprint and passive? We know we are in control of. Give me examples of things that contribute to your active digital footprint. Posts, comments, Shimar and Kavish. Your searchers, people you follow, people who are your friends. These are things that contribute to your active digital footprint. You are in control of it. Your passive digital footprint normally comes from data collected by cookies. Okay, referring website, how much of time you spent on it, what did you type, what is your IP address, what is your location. Okay, right. So Sanjeev can impact him in the following ways. You can say his active digital footprint, which would contain his active digital footprint, which is made through posts, through content that he posts online. Okay. The comments he posts, comma, what he likes, or comma, the post he likes, comma, the post he likes, the searches he carries out on search engines. Okay. His active digital footprint, which is made through content that he posts online, the comments he posts, the posts he likes, the searches carried out on search engines, and the pages he chooses to follow. Everybody, can we make a change here? His active digital footprint is, let's remove the which, is made through the content that he posts online. Okay. Okay. So the content of his active digital footprint can lead to him receiving a lot of exposure online as a writer. Can lead to him receiving a lot of exposure online as a writer. He's a writer, isn't it? He writes short stories. Okay. So the content of his active digital footprint can lead to him receiving a lot of exposure online as a writer. Okay. Then what will this lead to? This in turn, this exposure, this massive exposure can lead to him receiving job opportunities related to his line of work, and further opportunities to write articles or short stories for more magazines. Okay. And further, opportunities to write articles or short stories for more magazines. Shall we talk about monetizing opportunities as well? Okay. Further, this exposure can lead to him building upon. Okay. Further, this exposure can also lead to many online users choosing to follow him. This can lead to many monetizing opportunities like yes, boys, girls. What are the monetizing opportunities he can get now? He has a good follow base. Oh, guys, online, I didn't switch on my camera, no? He has a good follow base, so he can carry out sponsored content, okay, where he can promote a particular product in his articles, okay, affiliated marketing like sponsored content and affiliated marketing. And affiliated marketing. You know what affiliated marketing means, right? He will talk about a product, he will give a link to it, and whoever makes a purchase through that link, he gets a small commission. Sponsored content is where he is paid to talk about that product. Okay? This can lead to many monetizing opportunities like sponsored content and affiliated marketing. Shall we talk about the benefits, advantages he can enjoy through his passive digital footprint, or shall we jump onto the negative side of it? Let's talk about passive digital footprint then. Okay. In addition to his active digital footprint, Sanjeev will also have a passive digital footprint, which is basically content collected through cookies. Okay. This content, example of this content would be, examples of this content would be his location, web browser details, words typed, buttons clicked, referring websites. What else? Amount of time spent. Give me one more. And words typed, buttons clicked, referring websites, amount of time spent, and give me one more to end this. His device details, the device he's using, that is also recorded in cookies now, and device details. Okay, this is what his passive digital footprint would contain. Why do you mean? Why do they need? Location is very important, right? We need to know who we are serving to, who is reading our articles. Are Sri Lankans reading? Are people in Colombo reading? Think about a cafe. If a cafe wants to run a targeted ad, who do they want to show it to? They want to show it to people who are regularly passing by this area. So they need to know. So Facebook needs to know your location so that they can show you that ad. You get it? Then think about this. If I am running a hotel in Sri Lanka, my target audience is tourists, right? People who are traveling to Sri Lanka. So I need to know people who are living outside Sri Lanka who are coming to Sri Lanka. I need to know. I need to know them. Then what else? There are many businesses that need to know your location. I'll give another example. Yeah, mainly cafes, restaurants, they depend a lot on location because only people in that area will come to. Another one for location can be tourist guides maybe, or even supermarkets also when they're running ads location based. Then, like, for example, Keel's Kohuala is having a special offer only for the Kohuala customers. You get it. For example, now recently Keel's Kohuala has what they have, what charging? Electric vehicle charging they have. So they need to advertise only to people who are traveling to Kohuala or people who are living in Kohuala and with the electric vehicle. So location matters a lot. Okay. Right. Also, this is to advertise now. If you are a business owner, you want to know where your customers are coming from, right? You want to know who are buying my items, from where are they coming? Is it clear? What is their location? When you know. Right, everybody, shall we now move on to the impact of passive digital footprint? Okay. Now let's talk about it. Let's talk about the advantage of it. Okay. The data collected by cookies can bring about a lot of ease to Sanjeev, especially when he is doing what? When he is doing research, right? When he is doing research. Since content related to his field of interest, can always be brought in front so that he does not have to spend a lot of time searching for it. Okay. Since content related to his field of interest can always be brought in front so that he doesn't have to spend a lot of time searching for it. Okay. However, now we are going to start giving drawbacks of this. However, the above can also be a major drawback where the content that Sanjeev sees can be very biased. And further, one is it can be very biased, and further, it can also be a major distraction for Sanjeev, where since the platform has understood Sanjeev's interests, it will be able to continuously keep showing him content that keeps him hooked on, shall we say? No, he's stuck to it now. Okay? That keeps him hooked on. This is what happens to many of us, right? Okay, the reason Instagram and Facebook and TikTok is so addictive is because they are showing us content that we are actually interested in. They are not showing random content. And shall we talk about going forward what he should do? So the problem of seeing biased content, we recommended he has two accounts, no? A personal account and a work account. Okay. Going forward, everybody, I'm looking at my mind map. It's on my tab. I'm looking at this mind map only and writing our answers. Everybody, I'm choosing from the mind map. I'm not just randomly writing. Okay. Going forward, Sanjeev must maintain two separate accounts. Okay. One for his must maintain two separate browsing accounts, shall we say? Two separate browsing accounts. One for his work and one for his personal life. Okay. This would ensure that he does not see biased information. Okay. Also, he must regularly clear cookies to further reduce the chances of being manipulated by online platforms. You understand this point, guys? When he clears cookies, now the platforms don't know what his interests are, so they can't manipulate him. Okay? We mentioned this as a disadvantage now, as a drawback now. So now we are giving him how to go forward. What should he do? Then for the problem of distractions, we all told me to put what? Screen timers, okay? And set timers so that he doesn't. Okay? And in order to reduce the problem of being heavily distracted, okay, he must set screen timers for the online applications that he uses so that he does not spend. What's a good word here? You can't say unnecessary. You can't say, like, it's not the right amount. What's a good word? Much time. What's a good word? So he does not spend. So that he does not spend. No, sometimes you can spend a lot of time online, but you are very productive in it. You get it? You did a lot of work in it. So it does not waste, we'll say space, so it does not waste. So that he does not waste too much time. So he does not waste his time using online applications. Yeah, waste, I think, is we don't mind him using it a lot if he's being productive. We don't want him to get entangled into useless information, which is wasting his time. Can you guys read the marking scheme thereafter? You will find lots of answers you never thought about it. Everybody, can you read the marking scheme now? Look at the marking scheme, will everybody? Question number 12's marking scheme. I'm sure there are lots of answers we never ever thought about it. Some of the answers we wrote are there. Look at the ones that we never thought of. Everybody wrote? Okay, so I'll put the marking scheme on the screen. So our exposure answer is there. Everyone saw it. The first one speaks about his exposure. Helps protect Sanjeev from fraudulent activity. What do they mean by that? So we defined what active footprint is. We did that. We also spoke about his exposure. That we also did. Helps protect Sanjeev from fraudulent activity, plagiarism, other legal issues. I didn't quite understand this yet. I need to spend some time understanding it. So I'm going to jump to the third one. Allows companies to personalize Sanjeev's visits to their sites. We spoke about this. Yes, Andu, remember? Okay, Sanjeev can receive personalized content related to his interests. But we also spoke about how that could be a drawback. Disadvantages. Adverts offers may be based on Sanjeev's research and not be wanted for his everyday life. So his research content might conflict with his personal life content. You get it? Okay. That is what they have mentioned over here. Personal data of Sanjeev can be monetized. Okay, Sanjeev's article, somebody might start monetizing it. We never thought about that. The articles that Sanjeev's publishes online, do you have control over it once you publish it? Answer is no, somebody else could, make use of the article for commercial purposes. Companies may personalize by increasing prices based on perceptions of Sanjeev's wealth. Okay, we never thought about that. You understood this point? They can see his personal life now. So based on his personal life, they might, may personalize by increasing prices based on perception of Sanjeev's wealth and status. Okay, they might charge higher prices. Okay. Analysis of an active footprint can reveal more information that Sanjeev had intended to share. We spoke about this. Okay. No, we didn't speak about this. No, we didn't speak about this. Privacy problems, we noted it down, but we didn't write it. Privacy problems, we noted it, but we didn't write it. Passive footprint, enhance experience. We spoke about it. He can get ads related to his interests. Disadvantages, we didn't speak about what they have said, no? No control over what is collected. We didn't say that. What did we say? We didn't say no control. We said what? We said distraction. No, we said it can be a distraction and it can be very biased. That's what we said. Okay. And then moving forward, can you all read? We mentioned how to keep the personal and work account separate. Okay. We spoke about clearing cookies. We spoke about that. We didn't talk about private browsing. We just said clear your cookies. Okay. Everybody, please go through the marking scheme also. There's only one point I didn't understand. I had to spend some time. Help protect Sanjeev from fraudulent activity. That only I didn't understand. I will have to read it and see what they mean by it. You understood it? What do they mean by help Sanjeev from fraudulent activity? I didn't understand that. I'll have to spend some time looking that up. Okay. Okay, everybody. It's almost 2 o'clock then. Okay. We took too much of time on this. Everybody, now tomorrow we have our practicals, right? Okay. Tomorrow we'll start a past paper. Okay. I'll share the details with you all tonight. So you can download it before coming for the class. And that will be your last class before your term exams. Okay. So everybody, until we meet again tomorrow then, take care. Stay safe. See you all tomorrow then. Okay. Guys online, do not move. Guys online. Oh, you already moved. I didn't take attendance. Anyway, no worries then. Okay, what to do? I will not be able to mark it then. Okay, everybody, take care then. See you all tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Okay, bye-bye.